Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to make a video about the Embraer 300E. This is the 300E and the 300 cockpit. It's pretty much the same developer that just came out with the Charger, or the Bombardier 300, right? So let me just show you that aircraft. I'm going to talk a little bit about private jets, which ones I recommend and do not recommend. I can tell you right off the bat, the Phenom 300 by this developer, I would not recommend. Now, I've made a video about this and a live stream on it, and people were watching my old review of this aircraft, right? However, let me see. Let me just put it in here to show you guys. I would not recommend buying this, okay? This just came out the other day. I'm going to put it in Microsoft Flight Simulator here, and I'll show you around this aircraft, and I'll also show you the other aircraft and some of the reasons why you shouldn't buy this plane, okay? And now, don't get me wrong, you can buy whatever you want. This is, you know, up to you. These are just my opinions and thoughts of the aircraft. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. I'm just saying, you know, depending on if you like wasting money or not, right? So, Flight Sim Federation, I believe is the or is it Sim? Yeah, Sim Federation is the developer of this, right? So he made this and he made the E. Now, I just want to make sure it's clear. It's not the 100 for the Phenom. It's the 300. This one just came out. I flew it. The flight characteristics are not that great. This also has the cockpit feature and the 350. I feel like it was a little bit of a cash grab on the developer's part with some of it. Now, I don't want to be too harsh because I am not a developer. I don't know how hard it is to make an aircraft, but I know I've bought many aircrafts, and I can tell you from experience of flying them which ones, in my opinion, are good and not good, right? So I have over 300 different aircrafts. I took some out just to be easier on my frame rates here, but I got a lot of experience in buying good and crappy aircrafts from my passion for aviation. I love planes, I love flying, and I don't think it's fair to waste your hard-earned money on planes. So I'm just giving my opinions. It's still your choice to buy, and I encourage anybody to do whatever they want to do. That's totally up to you. However, you know, let's check out this one. Okay, so first things first, let's get on the ground, get into the aircraft, and show you the aircraft. It's not a bad aircraft in general, right? If you just want to get in and fly, have some fun, there's nothing wrong with it, right? But if you're looking for a really in-depth and detailed aircraft, I would suggest, especially private jets, is like it's my thing. I love private jets. I think, like, out of all things that I like to fly, private jets are like the reason I started flying Microsoft Flight Simulator. I just love private jets, and I thought aviation is cool. I got really into turboprop planes recently, and I love them. They're probably becoming my favorite. You know, but as far as this aircraft, boy, I'll tell you, it is, it's okay. I mean, you know, like, I don't want to give it, I don't want to say, I hate saying bad things, but this is not, you know, I probably should have turned the weather better. Let me fix the weather for you guys, too. That way you can see the aircraft. So, overall, let me see, can I, yeah, I could walk around it. I'll show you underneath. It's not a bad looking aircraft, right? They did a pretty decent job exterior model. You know, there's not that much detail here, as you can see, right? But it's pretty good. It's not bad. Interior, exterior, like I said, at the time I bought the 300 before, I didn't really know what a good plane was and a bad plane, right? So, you got to keep that in mind. Let's turn on some lights just to show you what they would look like, right? That's the light and the flasher. So, I mean, to be honest, it's not bad. It's when you get it up in the air and you start flying it is where it becomes the problem, right? So, if you're looking for like a more realistic experience of an aircraft, but overall, this plane has default sounds. I think at least it sounds like it to me. I can't confirm it because I don't really know, but it sounds like the Longitude, and it has the flight systems inside from the CJ4. It looks like, if I would have to take a guess. So, a little bit of a smorgasbord, if you will, of different bits and bobs and airplanes, right? So, I guess it's good if you want 3 different aircrafts in one. But here's the landing lights here. I'll flick those on for you. And I'll turn the other lights on as well. I thought it's not a bad looking aircraft. Cabin lights go on and off as well. You can see there. Here's the taxi lights, landing lights. Overall, it's a beautiful looking plane. This plane, I love this plane, man. It's really a nice aircraft in real life. And I feel like they did a little bit dirty, being that it is a beautiful aircraft. As you can see here, not everything is clickable. It's not study level by no means. It is get in and fly. It does work, the autopilot and all that stuff. So, I mean, it does have functionality to it. You know, it's not study level. It's not the best plane. It's probably not even the worst plane. However, you know, it is what it is, right, guys? I enjoy the aircraft. It's beautiful modeling inside and out. There's no functionality with the door here. For the price point, I think it's way overpriced. You know, there's no tablet with it. There's no, you know, clickable spots in the cabin. There's no bathroom animation. The tables don't go up and down. The shades don't close. For 40 bucks, you could get a Learjet, right? To give you a point of reference. So this was $26 for like probably a little bit less than 40 bucks or $40, right? With taxes. You can get a Learjet with real flight characteristics, real systems working, open and closed doors, shades up and down, chairs in and out, passengers loading, fuel loading, a tablet, you know, just to give you an idea of like what a real plane versus a plane like this is, okay? So, in my opinion, I have seen freewares that are probably better or close to as good as this is. However, it is a beautiful aircraft. I love this model of this airplane. I think it's super cool. Now, let's go ahead. I just wanted to show you that. I'm going to jump into the next one that the same creator of this airplane made. And this was one of my favorite ones that I flew, and I did a flight review on it as well. And I think this aircraft is also very nicely modeled inside and out. And I think the door does open, at least in the last version of it, it did open. I don't know if it opens now, so we're going to check it out together right now. So this one is basically the same thing, right? So when they say cockpit, that means there's no interior modeling. It's just a cockpit. The rest of the cabin is completely empty, okay? So there's nothing really to even look at in that one, except for the cockpit, which we already saw the cockpit in the one with the, you know, plane. So here's the next one. The same developer of this aircraft as well. Supposedly, if you have this airplane, it was free to upload. It's the V2 version of it. They haven't updated this plane. I think I bought it about a year ago. It's never been updated until today. And they came, or when that 300 came out, the 350, they updated it. So I don't know if they did it together or what. I'm not sure how they did it, but supposedly it was supposed to be free to this the other airplane, the Bombardier. So let's see. Let's put the weather back to good here. So this is the inside of this aircraft. Now these were clickable before. You could start it up by yourself and all that stuff. It did have all that features. It still looks like it does. The brake system used to bing a lot, and now it finally stopped. It would be ding, 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 and not shut off, but it looks like it's working, so I got to give them credit for that, right? They look like they upgraded their avionics and all that stuff, too. Looks a lot better than it did before. So there's credit where credit is due, right, guys? We don't want to be too harsh on developers because um, I don't really know what it takes to make a plane. I'm not a developer. I'm just an aviation enthusiast. I know what I like, and you know, that's all I could say about that. Now, it does have functionality. Both of the airplanes do work for the avionics and everything. I've never took this for a flight yet, so I can't really say if the flight characteristics are good or not. We will fly it today and check it out. Here is the aircraft on the outside with all the lights on and everything. Let's get this thing up and running. There we go. We got a light off on both engines. And let's see if the door opens. The door used to open on this one. Let's see. Yeah, it still does. Okay, so the animation, this one isn't bad. At least it has a door that opens, right? You could also walk outside of this one as well. It's a pretty looking plane, too. I gotta say, like, I don't know. The modeling is not bad, right? I don't know how it flies, though. You gotta give them credit for the modeling and the interior. But oh, actually, I did fly this once. It did fly okay. So, I don't know. I mean, the other thing is, it's all about, like, until they make somebody who, like, makes a plane more realistic or study level, if you will, right? This one's okay. This one's not bad. I'm not going to complain about it, you know what I mean? Like, I'm glad to have it back. It was one of my favorite ones before, and it's good to see it back. I don't know why the door is not clicking closed. Maybe that's part of the glitch. Oh, there we go. No, it's me. User error. Here we go. Alright, and this one's cool. At least there's a bathroom. No clickable spots. You can't put the shades down. You can't put the tables away. There is a toilet back here. It doesn't flush. It doesn't open like the Embraer E100 does. That has a really good system in depth. It has everything you need in a real plane. This one is more of like, if you like this plane, maybe it's worth the money. If you don't, stay away from it type of deal. But it's not bad. I'm gonna say, like, this one I still like. You know, I've always had I just like this model of aircraft. I shouldn't be so hard on these people, but I guess the level of the level that we have in the stream now with aviation is just next level, and it's a little bit sad to see these planes sit to the wayside for so long. But I gotta give the credit that the developer actually went back and updated it. That's cool, you know? So, I don't know. I don't know, guys. What are your opinions? Let me know what you think about this airplane and developers, and what you think they should or should not do. I'm curious to find out, but I think it's not easy probably to make these planes, but some of them, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I want to be fair. So, hey, look, it's a little bit wobbly too, right? It's all right. It feels okay. All right, so let's go ahead and put the power in here. Yeah, it's a little bit wobbly. It starts to stabilize at higher speeds here. The flight controls feel a lot better now. It's not moving around on the runway as much. Let's try to take off here. I'm pulling back on the stick, and it doesn't want to come back for some reason. We got no control. What the heck? Why is there no control of the flights? That's weird, right? Okay. So I put one notch of flaps in, and it wanted to come off the ground. So it would not come off the ground without flaps. That's interesting. There's a gear up animation. Pretty good. This thing used to fly like a fighter jet before. Flaps coming up. I got full power in, and it seems like these are your flight. It's supposed to look outside the window. It looks at that. And the left side looks at the seat. So, a little bit weird where the choices of views are. I guess you can set them yourself if you don't like it, right? All right, let's try a landing, right? All right, let's go back around, slow it down, see how this thing lands. It's not a bad aircraft, okay? I'm gonna give him credit, right? Yaw damper coming on here. It's yelling at me for the yaw damper. I'm gonna just come back around here. It flies okay, it handles good. Like I said, guys, like if I was gonna recommend the plane for if you really want like a real, the only cool thing about this one is it has this, right? So this is super easy to flight plan, which I think that's kind of a cool feature. I like that, you know? It's interesting that it has that. I think this one is not bad. I think this one, if you don't have it, it's not bad. You know. But if I had to make a choice to buy this or the 100, I think the 100 would be a better choice. Although, if you don't know how to flight plan too good, this would be an easier option for, like if you're beginning at flying and you don't really know too much, this is not a bad aircraft to start with because it's very forgiving. Okay, so keep that in mind too. You know, because I mean, when I first got this airplane, I enjoyed it because it's very forgiving, very easy to fly, and I was new to streaming. So that's a good thing about this airplane. You can kind of learn a lot of little things easier when it's easier to fly, right? I like the way it handles now, too. The flight characteristics are a lot better than it was before. So that's cool to see. We're doing 245. We're descending 5,000 feet right now. We got to get down, though. Let's see if the speed brakes are working. Now, the speed brakes are no longer animated. They were before, so I don't know what happened with that. That is strange, right? So I just pulled the speed brakes. That's the flaps. And the speed brakes are not active, which is very strange. Yeah, I'm not sure why the speed brakes are not active. Alright, so let's put a notch of flaps down. So the flight characteristics of this thing are pretty atrocious when it comes to flaps. It wouldn't take off without flaps, which I think is unrealistic, right? It would eventually take off. It didn't want to take off at all. It wouldn't even come off the ground until I put flaps in. Secondly, the speed brakes are no longer animated, and I think it shows that this plane... No, there's no change in the plane slowing with the speed brakes up, so no speed brakes. I believe it had speed brakes before. Alright, gears coming down. Flaps all the way down. I have the power pulled all the way back, and we're still doing 258 knots, which is just insane. I don't know why we would be going this fast at this point. It should have been way slower. There's no point of slowing down, and there's no way to slow this thing down, which is another fail. So that is not good, guys. That is not what you want for a plane to land. So let me take back some of what I just said, because 230 when you have full flaps... What the heck? Look, I got full flaps. There's no flap animation. The plane's doing 250 knots. We overshot the runway. Yeah, this thing is trash. I'm sorry, guys. I thought it was good. Never mind. There's no flaps. Look, we're finally about to touch down at 187. Even if I have the speed brakes pulled all the way back, guys. Nothing. Nothing. All power is out. All power is out. We're doing 172 knots, full flaps. We overshot the runway by a whole town and a half at this point. We're just floating over the city at 162 knots. I mean, what the heck kind of plane does this? I don't know, guys. So if you're looking for a real plane, yeah, not this one. What is going on? This is supposed to be an update. This is a joke. This is a joke. We might as well just put the gear up and crash land in the water at this point, Sally style. Let's go to the Hudson. There we go, guys. We did that plane a favor, and we put it in the water where it belongs. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it was helpful. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye now. And if you like this video, check out this one. See ya.